Great to be with you. Thanks so much, John.
I mean, this is a damning report. We've already seen some bad news coming out of these Afghan refugees coming here. I mean, this is, again, just one of these horrible examples of what's gone wrong with the president's immigration policy with refugees coming from Afghanistan or from the southern border here. But what is your reaction to this Breitbart story?
Well, it is consistent with this president willing to harm America in order to try to make himself look more benevolent or something. But there is a constitutional obligation under Article 4 to prevent and secure every state from invasion. And we got more than 2 million or around 2 million that we know of came into the United States through our southern border. And then you've got the United States government under Commander-in-Chief Biden bringing people with terrorist ties into the country. I mean, this is so outrageous. We don't have the majority. We can't pass an impeachment motion, but for heaven's sake, at least the president ought to follow the old Hippocratic oath of doing no harm. But I know he didn't take that oath, but he took an oath to the Constitution, and he is violating it just constantly.
I know no one in the GOP, at least not publicly, is measuring the drapes in the Speaker's office right now, but I mean, all signs look like, and if history is any reference here, you know, the opposing party from the president after an election, they usually take back control of Congress here, and that's what all the experts are saying is going to happen. But if that does happen, is a Biden impeachment inevitable?
I think it ought to happen because he is just out of control. And I don't know that he knows what he's doing. In fact, when I was drafting articles of impeachment, I put a provision at the end that in the alternative, pleading in the alternative, if such be necessary, if it is found that President Biden has not intentionally or knowingly committed these acts that would justify impeachment, then he is not qualified to serve because of lack of mental capacity. That's a bit unusual, but that may be where we are too.
Yeah, I mean, the Washington Post, when the Afghanistan issue came up, and a lot of other members of Congress, Elise Stefanik being one of them, called for President Biden's impeachment, you know, they made it sound like we are living in this era of perpetual impeachment. I mean, they forget that, you know, it was the Democrats who were impeaching Republican presidents, you know, or Republican President Trump so often. But we worry about these reprisals back and forth, and that all we are going to see in Congress are investigations and impeachments.
Well, and that is a concern. But if Republicans are in the majority, that's not going to be all we see. It's not all going to be about impeachment, because we have got to undo some of the damage, some of the Orwellian lockdown mandates that keep coming from Mount Olympus, otherwise known as Capitol Hill. And so you're going to see a Republican majority trying to get back to where we were doing so well under President Trump. So I think it will lead in nicely into the 2024 election.
I got about a couple minutes here with you, Congressman. I want to ask you about January 6th and how the left is trying to leverage this week for their own political gain. We've got Chuck Schumer using this anniversary to mark, try to pass their voting rights, quote unquote, bill. Really what it is a federal takeover of our election systems. They're claiming that there's a big danger to our democracy right now. What is your reaction to Chuck Schumer? I mean, he wants to get rid of the filibuster here.
Right. There is a danger to our democracy. It is a legitimate threat, but it's not from an insurrection that did not happen on January 6th, and that's why not a single person who participated in January 6th has ever been charged with insurrection, because it wasn't an insurrection. It was a protest that went wrong, and those that did violence, that violated the law, they should be punished. They will be punished. But we have got to get back to where the rule of law applies, and we do need to find out about January 6th.
Equally, right? Applies to everyone equally. We're going to talk about January 6th a bit more in the details and what we've learned since that day 1 year ago with Julie Kelly in just a moment here. But, we're going to see a lot of grandstanding, a lot of theatrics coming up in a couple of days here. We now have learned that Merrick Garland, also the Attorney General, will deliver a speech on January 6th. We've heard about President Biden and VP Harris going there. Nancy Pelosi is also, I don't know if she's going to wear the a kente cloth again or whatever she does and kneel. But we're going to see all this drama here. I mean, you know, this is not a display of solemnity here. This is Democrats leveraging a horrible day for their own political gain.
That's right. That's right. And I hope when Merrick Garland speaks, he won't lie as he has previously, that he'll just speak the truth, because he may be a Democrat favorite, but we need truth from the Attorney General, and we haven't gotten a whole lot from the Department of Justice. So in order to heal, we have got to have an Attorney General, a Department of Justice that will not be just about just us as the Democrats, but be about justice for all. I hope that he has a turn for the better.
We will see what happens. Great to see you, Congressman Louie Gohmert from Texas.
Great to see you, John. Thank you.
All right, let's also welcome in now